Hello and welcome to On the Spot with Sharmeen on Indoz TV. We're out in the community meeting interesting people, picking their brains and pulling out real stories. Fast, honest and unfiltered. Ready to roll? Let's go. Humble beginnings and transformational achievements. My guest for today is someone who not only personifies this, but also guides others on their own transformational journeys. It's my privilege to welcome to the studio, Pushpa Vaghela. Pushpa, welcome to On the Spot. This is our Women's Day special edition, and it's absolutely wonderful to have you in the studio today.
Thank you, Sharmeen. I'm so grateful to be here and honored to be invited. Thank you.
Thank you. Pushpa, you are a superwoman, a multitasker. Now, if you can just highlight for our viewers and listeners today about all the different hats that you wear as a leader, as someone who empowers others, as someone who deals with people in mental health, just let's lay it out, all of it.
Okay, that could be a list. But currently, I do a lot of practical psychology, clinical neuropractitioner work. I do have a real estate business, and we do have a charitable organization that focuses on mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and financial well-being. And recently just brought in the physiology side of it much stronger.
Right. And I'm sure you said currently this is what you're doing.
Yes.
And obviously to come to the stage of doing all these fantastic things that you do, some of the words I probably would take a little time to comprehend myself, but it's taken you years and years of experience and living to get here. So if we can go back a little bit in history, and as a migrant in Australia, where did you come from and how did Australia become home?
Okay, that's really good. Thank you for that. I did come to Australia as an accountant, so my master's was in accountancy. And to go back historically, you can see I've got natural grey hair, which I believe comes with wisdom. And very young. So I lost my parents. I lost my mom when I was 11. And I have 9 brothers, 2 sisters.
Wow.
So it was a very sad time. But I did step in a lot to do her role at that age. And interestingly enough, just the cooking for the whole family, getting my brothers involved in doing housework, going to school, looking after dad. And shortly after, we lost our father as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go through at such a young age.
Yeah, we missed her terribly because the 2 sisters were already married, so I was the only girl at home with mom. So it was a big gap. It took me quite a few years to overcome that. And following that, I studied at school. I was one of the younger students. I got the Business Entrepreneurial Award, Young Entrepreneurial Award at the age of 11.
Wow. And this was in the UK?
This is in the UK,
right.
Sorry. Yeah, I was born in Africa, Nairobi, right. And parents moved to UK when I was probably about 2 years old. Following that, my first job was a welder in an engineering firm. So I used to weld the metal plates on the buses. And after that, I just started in payroll, went on to study at college and university. Got a lot of my brothers through education as well, which was phenomenal. Met the love of my life when I was about 14, got married when I was 18, had my first baby when I was 19.
Wow.
And we're Gujarati. So traditional Gujarati family, we had businesses which was on a global scale. Businesses were run pretty good. And unfortunately, my husband passed away in 2002. So I was back to square one with my children and, living this life of my own. Luckily, at that time, even for the businesses, I studying accountancy, even though the psychology I'd studied at college. And it's just wonderful how the universe works because the tax office headhunted me as a tax auditor. From there, I got to work in the Treasury, UK Treasury. So in addition to that, after he passed away, I still had my coaching company, which I started. And I think you would have heard of Anthony Robbins, So I met Tony probably 2 years after my husband died. So I've been in the Tony environment for 22 years now. I'm one of his trainers. And we've worked with hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people across the globe over the last few years. So from the tax auditor to accountant in the Treasury, from there decided to move to Australia in 2006. And it was interesting that happened because I was wishing, how far can I get away? Across the world, across the hemisphere, it was a desire. And behold, Australia just came to mind. So, I did come here as an accountant and a coach. Started up the accounting with the Department of Child Services and started my coaching company at the same time. And I think within 14 months of being here, we got Outstanding Business of the Year, which was so good. And it's been nonstop since.
Pushpa, it's almost like a story. Like, as you were kind of going through all of this, I'm actually visualizing that. And it's so hard. I think you have an incredible journey.
Thank you.
If I were to ask you, Pushpa, right from navigating loss at a very young age to mentoring people, which is what you do now, what is it that drives you as a woman?
So I think even though from a very young age, I've helped a lot of people in our communities, taught yoga from a very young age as well. And I think when I lost my husband, it took me 6 months to realize he wasn't there because it was all of a sudden. And I reached out for bereavement counseling for 6 weeks at the hospital. So they gave me a lady called Debbie, and she was with me for 9 months. Now, when I went back to the hospital to thank her with some chocolates and flowers, they said, no, we only paid her for 6 weeks. If she did anything outside of that, she did it of her own. So
Wow.
She took me through all those losses, my mom, my dad, everything that had happened around my husband. And I thought, you know what, this is something I really want to give the world as a gift. So that's when I started the coaching and the counseling, and it hasn't stopped since. And, even yesterday I had a girl called Suki from, I won't say where, but 10:30, she was going through dire straits. And giving her that half an hour and knowing that it stopped her from committing suicide is what I believe I've come through this journey for.
I'm just in awe, and it's so nice that you mention this lady, Debbie, because sometimes this is what drives us in life, these angels who've done things for us.
Yes.
And I think this is the perfect embodiment of life comes full circle. Mm-hmm. If you had to maybe sum up a couple of your key learnings over the years, I know this could be a really exhaustive list, but if there was really a golden nugget or two that you could share with us today.
Definitely, always come from a place of integrity. When you're doing, doesn't matter what you're doing, irrelevant of who's there, come with integrity, come with wisdom, and more importantly, understand what you're doing and understand the other person as well.
And in all of this, Pushpa, was there ever a time, a moment, or an incident where you overcame a particular challenge? Like you would have, but something that stands out as, man, that was hard.
Quite a few. I think I've probably had about 8 falls, but I've got up all the time. I believe the biggest loss was my mom. The fact that, I spent every day, every moment with this lady, and then she wasn't there. It actually took me 8 years to overcome her death. Saying that, it didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. Like I'd go in my room, I'd shed a few tears, and I've done that with every situation, and then I've come back out feeling the better. And that's one thing I'd say to people is that don't stop yourself from grieving, irrelevant of what it is. And even though you're going to keep moving on, find somebody that you can talk to. It really does help.
And that's exactly a bit of what you do now is people come and talk to you. How do you reach out to people?
It's usually people coming to us. So our charity's been established for 6 years now. But prior to that, I did a lot of work in the community. And I have a great team of volunteers. I have a great board on place, and people just find us.
What is your charity called, Pushpa? Because this is something really good that we can share on our channel as well.
Sure. It's the Women's Mentoring Foundation. 80% mainly is women, youth, elder, young, and 20% are men. The men's reach has increased considerably over the last few years. And we've asked them, it's Women's Mentoring Foundation, yet you've called us. And they've always said it's because we trust you, we know it's confidential, and we know it's going to come to transformation.
That is a really interesting thing you mentioned, that men are also coming out there for help. And that's something where it's an area which is not really spoken about as much. Like there's so much in focus now about women's health and women, but this is really a great point. And I think even though this is a Women's Day special episode, we should spend a minute talking a little more about this. What are some of the issues that men come to you with?
So definitely multicultural men. So it's not just, one cohort. We've had people that have had, and I don't know, please don't, take this in a bad way, somebody that's had 200 cuts on his body, somebody that's going through a divorce, child's been taken away, accused of DV when, apparently it was from the other side, depression, students that have come to this country, yet they feel very much alone, don't know who they want, who they can reach out to, international students that are struggling financially, people looking for leadership skills because they feel that they can become a stronger leader when they can talk to somebody that comes with compassion, that wants to listen and only has one intention of wanting them to be in a better place.
And are these issues quite different from what the women seek?
It's not different. It's just the approach. So whatever we do, whether it's me or one of my counselors or one of my facilitators, we will adapt to the people in front of us. So the issues might be the same, but the history or the trauma or the emotion or the meaning that they've added to that particular incident, it's different. So when we talk about lead, heal, inspire, transform, transformation is only going to happen if you can deal with what the past is bringing along with it, right? And it's different for everybody. Cultural, upbringing, education, whatever the trauma was, trauma could be the same, but a lot of equations make it up.
I'm just in awe, and I really like the fact that even though you run what's called the Women's Mentoring Foundation, there is a place for men, and in fact, everyone from what I can see. Pushpa, where to from here?
So where to from here? Definitely we're on a global scale here. I was speaking to people in Chandigarh yesterday. So we're actually going to go up there and set up some facilitators that can deliver. Where to from here, only God knows. I trust him. I'm a person of faith. I believe that every step I take, I hope I take it in his light. And every person that comes to me is a blessing, truly so.
I think that's really such a beautiful message you've shared today. It's positive, and the world needs more of this. The world needs more of people like you. Now, before we end today's chat, Pushpa, I want to welcome you to this end segment, which is called On the Spot, where I will, it's 5 questions, probably 5 seconds. So let's see how good you are.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. A sport you play.
Tennis.
A podcast you listen to.
Tony Robbins.
A movie that motivates you.
Rocky.
Your favorite holiday destination.
India.
And last question. If there was a hashtag that could be just yours, what would that be?
Leadership.
Pushpa, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your insights and your golden nuggets. The world is a better place with you in it. And I'm sure you're here to transform not just people, but people on a global scale.
Thank you so much. Very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Pushpa.